What is good, YouTube? It is Vex and I am back with another reaction video. Today we are checking out this TikTok carnivore is taking over the internet, and this is literally the definition of brain rot TikTok content. We also had a discussion about if TikTok should be banned or not, so stay tuned for that. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
The thing with red meat is like they always want to put like a limit on it, but like I feel like that's what they want us to do. Like they want us to limit it. Like they don't want us to have, I don't know, like they tell us to do that and they tell us to avoid eggs, and I feel like it's all on purpose.
You don't
Yeah, of course.
Find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Yeah, it's been a while. It feels
Dr.
like it's
Umar?
been a minute since we've talked about the world of TikTok carnivores, and for a little bit there, it had kind of started to seem like they had disappeared.
Before we get into the video, how do y'all feel about this TikTok ban? I know a lot of people think that it's a little bit intrusive because everybody like it. I feel like it's got its pros and cons. I feel like the attention spans of everyone has kind of dwindled, and I won't say everyone, the people who consume TikTok, me included in that, you know what I'm saying? It got a negative effect on people's attention span. I feel like it make time move faster than it need to move. I feel like it's a lot of conversation and not enough action. A lot of people say that it's good for this, it's good for that, but it's not actually adding anything to anybody's life. I won't say anybody's life. The creators get money and it's good for economy and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just, I don't know. It's a healthier way to go about things. But I don't think it should be banned ultimately, in my opinion. But I'm also not into politics in a deep way. So I don't know all of the stuff behind the scenes, so I feel like my opinion might not even be the most valid. And I feel like a lot of us feel like our opinion's valid, but you know, if you don't do the proper research and you just basing it off of emotions and feelings, then you know what I'm saying? I feel like you should be able to look at yourself and say, maybe my opinion not the most valid, but you know, just based off of my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't be banned.
However, unfortunately for us and their hearts, it doesn't seem like that's the case. Now, if you don't know what a TikTok carnivore is, it's a person on TikTok who eats nothing but meat. Now, at first, that sounds
what is
really
that?
cool. You might be thinking, how do I meet
what is that?
These people? Vegetables are for dorks. And normally, I would agree with you. However, these TikTok carnivores will tell you that eating nothing but red meat for every meal of every day is the healthiest and really the only way to live if you want to live a long, happy life. And as a person with a brain, I just can't co-sign that. Now, there was a period on this channel where I was really talking a lot
What the fuck is that shit?
If you remember when the Liver King kind of blew up, that inspired a lot of people to go on to TikTok and start documenting how they eat nothing but steak and eggs 24/7. And with the Liver King,
that's not healthy.
Persona kind of being what stood out about him, of course, the copycats followed suit. So for a while, the whole TikTok carnivore scene was like really, really extreme and intense, very exclusionary, you could say. They'd say shit like, if every day you're not eating a set of bull testicles, a camel's penis, and like the bone marrow of an extinct creature, you're gonna die at 27 from like bad gut health or something. But as with most things on the internet, eventually people would...
Bro, it's no way people look at this and think this is healthy. Bro, this man don't look healthy.
Just got kind of tired of this shit. I mean, you can only watch a man eat the chocolate-covered penis of an animal so many times before the shock value just sort of wears off. So, what happened?
I've never seen that.
Reset. The TikTok carnivore community, I guess, needed something new. They needed something different. So when you have a niche ran by big, angry, buff men, how do you flip that? You take a small, not angry, and not buff, I guess, woman. Probably a more elegant way to phrase that, but we're moving.
Something wrong with y'all.
D-Doo-Doo 05. A young woman who I believe...
I thought he said the Doo-Doo 05. It's D-Doo-Doo 05. What kind of username is that?
Is the world's first TikTok carnivore industry plant. Now, you might hear that and you might say, August, it sounds like you've lost your fucking
She
mind.
the Bobby Altoff of...
Who told you that? Do you think you're trustworthy enough? Do you think you're qualified enough?
That sausage look good.
Evaluation of me? We're going to find out. D-Doo-Doo 05, who I will be affectionately referring to as Miss Doo-Doo throughout this video because, I don't know, something about the D in the Doo-Doo just doesn't really roll off the tongue right. Like, seriously, just say D-Doo-Doo. It doesn't really feel good to say, so I'm not gonna. Miss Doo-Doo is a TikToker who's been uploading on the platform for a few months influence, it seems. And from what I can tell, has no other like social media influence. Not a YouTuber, not an Instagrammer, just TikTok. And completely out of the blue, she grabbed the TikTok carnivore scene by the throat, spit in its face, and said, we're going to do things the way I want to do it from now on, and you're not going to ask any questions. Because every single video this individual is uploading is getting millions of views, and it's nothing but her sitting in her backyard eating a steak. And
Bro, I swear, like, as a social media influencer, I realized that it's not hard to become an influencer, or I wouldn't say influencer. I hate that they throw that word around just so loosely. It's not hard to get a bunch of views on the internet, but at what cost? Like, how odd do you want to be? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Like, how much of your spirit are you going to sell? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could get on the internet and talk crazy, say stupid stuff, and it'll get a lot of views just because if you don't know how social media is ran, it's not all about likes, it's about engagement. How long can you get people to watch? Can you get people to comment? And if you rage bait people and you just go to the extreme, you have to be on some type of extreme to be some type of influencer or something like that, because you need people to hate and you need people to love. You know what I'm saying? If you just a regular smojo, it's a lot harder in my opinion, unless you really embody being a regular person. But then anytime you do anything outside of the realm of being regular, like you get famous, then they gonna turn on you and be like, well, you're not regular no more. So it's just like, bro, the internet is not a hard place to, get attention. It's just, what are we doing? Like, I feel like TikTok has allowed such low effort content that you could just scroll, see something you might not necessarily want to follow along with, but you might find interesting. And, it's just, people took advantage of that, and now they just do anything on there, bro.
As much as I would love to extend a friendly fist bump, and you know what, I might do it anyways, because I would lie on the internet, okay? I would go on TikTok and say, hey, you can eat red meat every day of your life, and you're going to live to be 175 years old.
Straight lies on the internet.
I got to get paid for sitting in my backyard eating a steak. As much as I would like to applaud that, which I kind of am, I've got to stick to my guns here, and we've got to dive into these videos, because some of the stuff that's said, gotta be honest, you could use as your slogan for your campaign to get elected mayor of Goofyville, okay?
Bro, that's like, I be seeing girls who wear waist trainers, y'all, and it's like, do you know that the waist trainer not doing anything? It might make you sweat a little bit more. That's all it's doing. It's not shaping your waist. It's not doing none of that. You got to get in the gym and put the fucking work in to shape your waist, ma'am. Putting the waist trainer on is not doing nothing. Like, unless you got it on with clothes or something like that, but working out in a waist trainer is not doing anything other than putting an extra layer of something on you, and you might sweat a little bit more, bro. You could literally look up on Google right now. I'm telling you, whoever you watching this video, you can look up on Google right now. And I know Google not the perfect source, but you could literally look on Google, are waist trainers healthy? What do waist trainers do? Are waist trainers beneficial? And it will tell you no.
Yeah, you'll see. Let's not waste any more time, though. Let's begin.
The girlies love it, though. Flaky salt.
About a year ago, I would say, I came across this lady on YouTube. Her name is the Black Carnivore. She was like the first person I had like heard about it. And what really like caught my attention was the fact that she said she used to have like really bad asthma and allergies. And she said after, I don't know how many years she's been doing it now. I haven't seen many of her videos, but after a couple years, her asthma just like went away.
So this is the first
this happened to people normally.
Video I saw of Miss Doodoo. This is what exposed me to this new wave of the TikTok carnivores. And look, I don't know who's
people's allergies just go away.
Industry planting, but I've got to applaud whoever it is for sticking to the roots of the movement. Because my God, it looks like it's as stupid as ever. Let me get this straight. You watched a YouTube video in about a year ago, whatever that means. Might be some cryptic message to the other carnivores of some random person saying, yeah, I eat only meat now and my asthma disappeared. And you were like, you know what? I'm about to change my entire lifestyle because of this. This might shock you, but people are allowed to lie on the internet. I'm not a dumb.
Facts.
I'm a real life boy. If I told you that speaking into a microphone and making shitty videos on YouTube turned you into a bird, would you avoid microphones? If not, why do you avoid vegetables just because somebody said some shit on the internet? Talk to a doctor.
And she like doesn't need her inhaler or any needs to take any medication anymore. And I think about that like every day. Like that just shows how much like food can heal you, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm like, if there's a chance like I can live my life without asthma and allergies, like I want it.
Huh?
Like, I love my dog.
Yeah.
But whenever she licks me or touches me, I have hives all over my body. And like I really want
Why you got the dog?
to just like not be allergic to her one day. Like I would love that. I'd love to just like, I don't know, cuddle with her and not be in pain.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I'm hearing this correctly. You wish to not be allergic to dogs so deeply that you were willing to change your entire lifestyle on a whim because one person on YouTube said that it worked for them. Not only that, you converted to a lifestyle, or a diet, I guess, that has been proven time and time again to be very not good for you in the long run. Instead of, I don't know, starting allergy shots, you know, something that does work. Because look, as a person who will start to slowly die if I'm around a cat, I get it. Allergies suck. Eating steak 4 meals a day, however, probably gonna make your body suck even more.
The thing with red meat is like they always want to put like a limit on it. Everyone wants to put a limit on it. And I get messages all the time saying, like, yeah, you can eat it. It's beneficial, but maybe not more than 3 times a week, or just like make sure you limit it.
Yeah,
like,
limit it.
I feel like that's what they want us to do. Like they want us to limit it. Like they don't want us to have, I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to word this right.
You're not.
They tell us to do that, and they tell us to avoid eggs, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's all on purpose.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to live. I also like to excuse my stupid behavior by saying, you know what, I think someone out there just doesn't want me to do it. Look, dude, don't make this hard. I'm stealing your car. I know you might not want me to, but let's be real. That's exactly why I need to. Like, this is the mindset of a child. If your main motivation for doing something is that somebody doesn't want you to do it, you're not smart, you haven't broken out of the Matrix. You're just a 6-year-old.
Bro, people really be living like that.
And like, why don't we question it? You know? Like, I think we should question why they're telling us not to eat those foods.
Bro, people have questioned it, and they came up with reasons why. It's not healthy. That's why.
They make up all these new foods. Like, they tell you to eat protein, so everyone starts eating the protein shakes and the protein bars and all these, like, protein ice creams.
Huh?
But you're not getting any protein because, like, all protein is making sure it has all the essential amino acids. Like, you really think you're getting that out of, like, whatever a weird drink concoction that was made? That's my take on it. Don't get mad.
Okay, so as a person
She not
who
for real.
talks for a living about a lot of different shit, there have been
She coming
times
up with
where
this
I've
on the fly.
overstepped when it comes to my knowledge on things. I've tried to tackle things that I just really didn't have any business tackling, and as a person who's made those mistakes, I can now recognize pretty easily when a person's doing that. I'm gesturing to my screen. You can't see that though. First of all, protein shakes and protein bars are not new. I'm assuming the 05 in your TikTok name refers to 2005, which is your birth year. I'm guessing protein shakes are your senior. They're probably older than your parents. Then you start talking about amino acids, saying that you're not getting your amino acids by consuming these things. Whey protein, which is what basically every major protein shake has in it, has all the essential amino acids. Also, if you're just eating a well-balanced diet, which obviously meat is part of that, you do not need to worry about your amino acids.
Exactly, bro. That's why, like, when she was talking about the protein stuff, I was like, bro, if you eat a good diet, you don't have to take in a protein shake unless you're trying to bulk or something like that.
So to make this video where you're like, oh, well, protein shakes are scary because I think so, and they're probably not good because I think so, and they told me to not eat 15 steaks a week, so I'm gonna eat 30. It just makes you look pretty stupid.
Guys, I told my grandma, like, about my TikTok page, and I swear most of my comments are just like my grandma, so I'm like used to the comments because I've lived with my grandma my whole life, you know. But I told her about my TikTok page, and she was like, Katie, like, you need to calm down. She was like, just please, like, stop eating the fat parts on the steak. Like, at least leave out those
she need to
parts.
hang it
And I was
out
like,
the whole thing.
And she doesn't believe me. And she was like, my doctor told me, like, how fat is bad for you. And cholesterol's bad for you. And I was like, well, your doctor's an idiot.
Miss Doodoo, in the nicest way I can say this, you either one, don't have the cognitive ability to Google what is an amino acid, or two, you can, but you don't want to. You came to your own conclusion, and you think that it being in your head is proof enough that you're right. And
yeah, that's another thing that this all tie into the TikTok ban and stuff like that. Like, the TikTok has really rapidly exposed the fact that you can literally just lie online and get views and likes and comments and feel like what you're doing is correct because you're getting benefits from it. And it's like people like this, and this happened with politics too. All of the stuff that you consume on TikTok literally affirms the beliefs that you have, bro. If you believe that eating meat is the right thing, then you gonna watch videos where people literally start talking about science and all of this stuff, and it could literally all be lies. Some of it could be true. Like, bruh.
both of those things disqualify you from being allowed to call another person an idiot, much less a fucking doctor.
And I know I sound stupid.
Huh?
Most of you are probably like, this 19-year-old girl, like, what is she doing calling a doctor an idiot? Like, you can get mad, but I'm gonna keep saying it.
Okay, now I'm confused. So, do you think you're stupid, or do you just think you sound
I think
stupid?
she do.
I don't really know what you're saying. Also, I don't think anybody's like getting mad that you're calling a doctor an idiot. It just makes you look like an idiot, which most people try to avoid, I think. This is also like a relatively unique take on the carnivore stuff, because normally they have all these like bullshit studies to back it up.
Scientific.
Like, they fed 6 people steak for a week, 6 people vegetables for a week. Everybody who ate vegetables died. People who ate steak, their dick grew 17 inches. But
Facts, though. That's how
you know what? I don't believe it, so I'm right. Which honestly, I can almost respect more.
Hey, a lot of people are asking me how rich I am. And guys, I'm not that rich. Like, I live
Not
by
that
myself
rich?
and I only buy food for myself. But eating like this, I'm sorry, but it's not that expensive.
How?
If you go to a Chick-fil-A
You could probably buy it bulk.
drive-through and get a meal, it's like $16. Or like $20 for a bowl at Chipotle. Like, this was $12 at Trader Joe's. Well, everyone's telling me they can't afford to eat this way. Like, I'm also not buying like $6 Starbucks drinks. Like, I don't do that either.
All right, so it's evident
Okay.
that the carnivore diet has already started to affect your brain. It's rapidly aging it. You have the mind of a boomer. The old avocado toast argument. Okay, first of all, just want to get this out of the way. I think so much less of you now, Miss Doodoo, now that you told me that you eat Trader Joe's steak. Are you fucking buying meat from Trader Joe's? Just telling the world you hate yourself. Worst meat on the planet, and it's not even like it's affordable compared to other places. Don't know why anybody on the planet willingly buys meat from Trader Joe's, but anyways, just
Dang, what's wrong with Trader Joe's?
because like Chick-fil-A exists and Starbucks exists, that doesn't mean that eating steak for every meal is
I ain't never been to
inexpensive.
Trader Joe's.
Even if Chipotle bowls were $20 and a Chick-fil-A meal was $16, which like those just aren't the prices. One thing being more expensive than another does not automatically qualify that thing as cheap. Sure, you can generally find a cheap ribeye for like $10 to $15. Let's say you eat 3 a day, you're probably spending at least $45 a day on steak after taxes. If you
Facts.
eat nothing else, if fucking ribeye steaks are your only groceries, do you
Yeah.
know how much that is?
That's expensive. And it looked like her fork is golden. Am I tripping? Or is it just the light?
A year, Miss Doodoo? That's $16,425
Yeah, she tweaking.
if you buy literally nothing to feed yourself but steak. And the fact that you think that is cheap kind of proves that you are in fact likely from a rich family. I can also see your backyard. Doesn't
Yeah.
look like
And she says she buy stuff for herself. Does she live by herself? I think she said she lived by herself. If this her backyard, shit.
struggling. There's also a TikTok of you saying you're at the family lake house. So I mean, like, you're giving me too many pieces of
Lake
the puzzle
house?
to say, like, look, guys, I'm just a normal girl. I just spend $20,000 fucking dollars a year on steak. Now, look, I don't give a shit if your family's wealthy or well off. I'm not trying to like make you feel bad for that being the case. I'm just saying all these things that you're saying in these videos, all these things that you're really just not getting right, they don't point towards you really knowing what you're talking about. And when you're saying stuff like, oh, all doctors are wrong, you should eat like me, which has been proven to kill people early, that's not the best persona.
A lot of people think this about me. And like you can call it that, but I'm not gonna eat the processed foods. So that's not what it is, you know? And like I don't know if you guys have heard of the word like orthorexia. A lot of people are like, oh, if you eat healthy, you have orthorexia.
No, actually, nobody says that. Hope that clears that up.
Because it's so stupid. Like,
I've never heard that.
If you go to a dietitian now, they'll be like, oh, balance is everything. Like, you make sure to incorporate your junk foods every now and then. Make sure you eat your processed candy on occasion. Even the
Who's saying that? No. When they say balance, they talking about fruits, vegetables, nuts, maybe. What is she talking about?
dietitian.
Who is saying, they say that if you happen to have a problem trying to get rid of junk food and stuff like that, like it's okay if you have junk food from time to time. I don't think any dietitian is just openly recommending eating junk food, bruh.
On TikTok, they all say like balance is everything, moderation is key. You don't have to eat those things. Like no one's making you eat them. They're not real foods anyway. Why would you eat them? So that's my take on that. I'm still not gonna eat processed foods. I did my whole life. I'm just done.
Okay, so just to clear things up again, no dietitian, no doctor, nobody is going to be like, oh, so you haven't had a cheesecake recently. Okay, I'm going to prescribe
That's what
you
I'm
6
saying.
cheesecakes over the next few months. If you don't eat them, you're going to die. The whole everything in moderation mindset does not mean if you don't regularly eat Snickers or a Kit Kat bar that you need to start incorporating those things in. It's if you really like Twix bars or if you really like ice cream, if you really like pie, being healthy does not mean never eating those things.
Bro, and I could guarantee somebody in the comment section was like, yeah, like they literally be like they was literally agreeing with her.
You can enjoy them in moderation. You shouldn't eat pie and ice cream every day, but not eating perfectly healthy 24/7 is fine. You're gonna die one day, and you're probably not gonna regret having a piece of cake on your birthday or having a really greasy burger. Like I mean,
you just shouldn't go to the extreme.
Being healthy and keeping things in moderation, you're gonna be fine. Obsessively eating nothing but steak 24/7 because you've convinced yourself that's the only healthy thing on the planet is a lot more unhealthy than eating a well-balanced diet most of the time and occasionally eating something you know is not good for you. I hate to play the age card because I am barely older than this person, but I mean, this is like an exceptionally naive worldview if you're really going around believing that dietitians are telling otherwise healthy people, hey, you need to start eating candy. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's really what this boils down to. It's an age thing. You said you're 19, Miss Doodoo. I'm 22. We're in the same peer group here. What me and you are experiencing is something that doctors and scientists, which I know you don't really trust, but just hear me out here for a second, commonly refer to as youth. I can eat 4 Red Bulls for dinner, go to bed for 4 hours, wake up in the morning feeling pretty damn good. Just because you feel fine eating nothing but red meat and butter at the ripe old age of 19 years old does
don't mean it's not gonna catch up with you.
Generally, heart disease is not really one of those overnight diseases. This will catch up to you, but just like basically everything else on the planet, it won't catch up to you at 19. I implore you to maybe just do a little bit more research. Like if you were one of the crazy TikTok carnivores who cites all this crazy batshit suit.
And the crazy thing is, people like her will get on the internet and convince people who of lesser mental capacity, I guess I would say, because she's not stupid. She don't believe this. There's just no way she believe this. But if she happened to, she can convince, is that a basketball court in the background? Dang, this backyard huge. But she gonna convince people that she could do this. She look like her skin glowing, this, that, and the other. People, she do it every single day. I probably don't do it as much as her, this, that, and the other. Bro, and these people really gonna feel those effects and go through the stuff that, bro, that's crazy.
Pseudoscience? Okay, whatever. I wouldn't be making this video. But your motivation for doing this genuinely seems like, well, I think it's probably right, and I think people don't want me to do this, so I'm gonna do it. Which is a fucking horrible way to make life-altering decisions.
Bro, cook the steak a little more.
You seem to genuinely have no conviction, no real reason for doing this, which is not good. Do a little soul searching, go down a rabbit hole, come back and tell me that they did a test in the 1940s 1940s that was like banned by the government, where they found that eating steak every day will make you live to be 16,000 years old. And I'll be like, okay, at least you're with the shits now. You're not just doing this because you watched one YouTube video and they're like, hey, it'll get rid of your asthma. That's all I ask. Well, guys, I didn't really expect for this one to turn into a yap session, but you know me. It really blows me away when people fully buy into the whole, oh, well, the government said do it, so I shouldn't mindset. Because usually it makes like no sense. I, for one, am of the belief that the government values nothing more on this planet than tax revenue. If our governments found out that eating nothing but peanut butter raised the life expectancy to like 140 or something, I promise you they'd be airdropping that shit everywhere, doubling the amount of taxes they can extract from each person. Government's wet dream. If everybody dies of heart disease at
it's always money.
50, how are they going to have all this money to never fix a pothole? Something to think about.
If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today.